This is the least professional production you will see in a long time.
Believe me, I know.
Okay, good.
Hey, smartass, I invited you on my show.
I've
Is
watched.
that like a shell of a Pepsi can over your beer can there, Jason? Like, what's going on?
A Pepsi can. I'm not going to say what's in it, but the
There
Pepsi
you go.
There, right? Smart.
I have Coca-Cola glass.
before.
I have a nice Calgary Flames.
That's a
Crown Royal
damn
glass I
shame.
show off every episode. It's my official drinking glass.
Red Bull.
There's Jaybird.
What's up today?
I missed something there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and almost on time. We missed it by 2 minutes. Next week, we'll be on time. You watch. Chris Shefflo, of course. He's one of the first ones here. He always is.
Much appreciated.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 152 of the Maritime Milsim podcast. My name is Brad Odell, and with me I have sorry, it's gonna be a rough night. I have my co-host Tuna,
What's up, guys?
my other co-host Guardian,
Hey, guys.
and we have a long-time viewer, listener, first-time caller, guest.
Guest?
Yeah, we have
Yep.
Sage.
What up? What up?
Mr. Sage Honey. I always love that name. I actually have always wanted to know if that was like a Facebook pseudonym or your full name.
My mom's actually here right now, so
Really? Oh, okay.
she can confirm.
Sage
Nice.
Honey. I like it, man. It's
That is
awesome.
my name.
I remember when I met you guys down there, I was like, I saw the name on Facebook before, but I was like, does he go by Sage? Like, okay, cool, sweet.
Yeah,
It-
we didn't play together much, but
No.
our little I really enjoyed our little interaction though. I definitely was like, oh, I'll remember that guy forever.
Tuna here making impressions.
I've seen other tunas in Canada. I feel like
There's one other tuna in Ontario, but I'm
You're the real OG.
slowly.
You're the OG.
I'm at Dominion. I don't know the difference at that point, but
Yeah.
when we
I'm riding
met-
somebody else's coattails. I like it. Yeah.
I don't know. So, we met and we're on the field and we're doing this little thing together and we're making this push. And it was actually the one time, I don't know what I did, but I think I just held down this one area for long enough that ref handed me like a stack of cash. I was like, yeah. So I had to go take it back. So it was this whole thing. And I was like, yeah, Blake was a part of that. You actually pushed up in front of me to go do some stuff and ended up getting shot out. And I was just holding this
Sounds like
area
me, yeah.
for a long time.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, it was great. Dominion was a lot of fun. And I actually was going through some of my older footage. And, of course, your better half, Jeanette, I went through and saw her playing with just the finger, the little, like, pink finger. I was just laughing. It's like for barrel tagging, it looks like a little – like almost like a princess wand, like white with a little pink pointy finger on the end, and she'll use it to barrel tag you out in the game. It's pretty
That's
fucking
awesome.
So
Has anyone seen the video? Sorry, of like, I don't know where it's from. It looks like PRZ, but it's not because it's too yellow. Anyways, it's like some dude like wandering past a window, and somebody jumps out of the window with two rubber knives and just like Wolverines the shit out of the dude.
that's awesome.
You know, and I would see it. It was
I haven't
ridiculous.
seen it, but I want to.
It was awesome. I
You
saw.
got to save those so you can play them for us.
I know, right?
I'd show it right now.
I wish I
Fine.
could. I wish I could. It's somewhere and it's gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of tonight's show is basically we're going to talk about a really cool game. We're going to talk about the Mag 12 FSR only game.
I like it.
Right? We're going to talk about that. We got mail call. So I got a letter.
We got
Also-
a letter. Is it a bill collector? Are we in trouble?
No,
Did we not pay our Skype fees or something like that?
we're going to open this bad boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a letter. That's a letter.
That's a letter. Weighs a friggin' ton, I tell you. Here, watch. You'll be able to hear it. Anyways, maybe not. So, the game, yeah. So
Live right now.
basically, the whole reason why Sage is here is one because I'm pretty sure I promised I'd bring him on eventually at some point. But more importantly, is we're gonna talk about this. Boom. MagFed Action Games number 12 charity event, the first strike only event.
Woo woo.
Right? I love it in the pink. I love how it says no hoppers. That's awesome. Awesome. So let's talk about this. So where did the idea of first strike only game come from?
It's hard to pinpoint it exactly. There's been a few conversations over the last couple of years. I'm pretty sure Jeanette and I first had a conversation about it, just like kind of like dreaming. It was before I was really even using first strikes. Like I had before. I had a Hammer 7.
To the addiction using first strikes. It just sounded like someone telling like a using heroin story. Like, can't tell you the first day I tried heroin, but wow, once I started using, I just, yeah.
Yeah, that first hit, I've been chasing it ever since.
Yeah, exactly.
My teammates, a lot of my teammates were really into it, and Jeanette was getting there where she was almost exclusively using them, and I was still a Tipex player, and I still am when I use round ball, but so that's what I did. I didn't care. I loved them. I had a Hammer 7, and it's fully stock. Didn't put any money into it. Didn't do anything cool with it. Just a stock Hammer 7, and I was like shocked at how it was doming people with this thing. With like, I had 3 mags, 27 rounds on me for whatever kind of game I'm in, and I was just like, man, I had to 60 yards uphill and no scope or anything. So I was just, I started to fall in love with them. So it came up because we're really small. Our MagFed scene is so small here.
We know the feeling. It's the same for us out here.
Yeah.
Like, it's you got to build it up from like the ground. Like it's tough.
Yeah. So we just started talking about that though. Like we hadn't even ever had an MFOG here, and we were like, how cool would it be to have first strikes only? Because, and the attitude kind of is like first strike is cheating and stuff, because there's hardly any MagFed here. So all these speedball and other woods ball players that play with hoppers don't even know about first strike. So of course they hate them automatically, right? So we're just like, well, if we made it like a first strike only game, that's all that would be shot. People would see that no one's getting injured because they're getting hit by one. Players, probably a few players that don't even play MagFed would come just to check it out. And so all of that happened. We, by the way, I have to mention also pistol legend, Agent Smith, who's from this area. He brought it up one day too. I think Jeanette and I had already talked about it, but it was just like a passing conversation. So he brought it up one day, like he's not really into first strikes, but he's like, it'd be cool to have a first strike only so it's level playing field. And I'm like, yes. So we just put it together and did it. It was our first MFOG we ran in Michigan, and we've had one every month since. Not FSR only, but we've had an MFOG every month since. And
nice.
I knew I'd want to do it every year. Last year was actually Jeanette's birthday game. So I was like, just thinking of ways I could make it bigger. We had 19 people at our first ever, which to me was just impressive because we've never even had an MFOG. And this is really niche with first strikes only. So I was happy about that.
And you can play some great games like 10 on 10 like that. Like a lot of the time,
sure.
I mean, our home field can draw anywhere from, 20 players on a cloudy kind of rainy day to 60 plus. And honestly, sometimes it's those 10 on 10 days that you
so much fun.
Even more. You can move around and use the field, and
it all depends.
Yeah. It can go either way. Totally. Sometimes it's just, but yeah, just because there was, 19 people, some people might think that's not a lot, but man, using first strikes only, that's pretty good for your very first one. I'd be happy with those kind of numbers.
The way it worked, it was awesome. It was a big hit. There were, like I said, there were a few people that had never shot a first strike or been shot by one. I think there were like 5 of those people were in that situation, and they came and liked it. I don't think there was anyone that was turned off by it, so it worked out well. Knew I wanted to make it bigger, thought about ways to make it happen because it's just hard to do. So I've been wanting to do something charity related, and Jeanette really has also. So I was like, well, let's just do that. let's just donate all the proceeds to charity, get a bunch of people to donate things, and try to make it as big as we can. So that seems to be working pretty well. It still won't be a huge game, but it'll be a good thing. We're going to raise money for the two generals are fighting for the St. Jude's Children Research Hospital, and the other general's fighting for a local veterans committee.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two teams competing. That's cool.
Yep. So it'll be kind of a winner takes all and donates the money thing. And we're raising money through ticket sales, through FSR sales, and through raffles and auctions. So should be pretty decent.
You got to give the paintball community a shout out for fucking most of their games. No one walks home making $1 except charities usually.
I was just gonna say I don't understand what it is with paintballers, but anytime we do an event, it's just like, okay, the event's planned, but what charity are we gonna give all our money to? Like that comes up like everything.
Yeah, there's very few people in making paintball scenario events and making money. Like people are either running them at, bare minimum. I mean, what blew my mind is when we were chatting with some of the other guys and saying at Dominion last year that Doug Logan, I think, said that they lost money on Dominion last year. And if you think of how many players came at that registration and that, like, I assumed they were, rolling in the dough on that. But when they told us they didn't make money, and you think like some of these events, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, are barely squeaking by, but what they do make goes to charity. It's nice to see in the paintball community. You know what I mean? No one's like out there buying new trucks or whatever, right? Like, as they ran an event and are now rolling in the dough, like it's nice to see that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a double-edged sword, but it's awesome. I think
being on the production end of it, I can definitely see how you could.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
For instance, we're lucky in Michigan. We have fields that really support us. Like, it's crazy. Fields who don't allow FSR that let us come and use them in a private event or whatever. Like, just things like it's crazy. It's crazy how fortunate we are here. But even that, with like the pricing, I'm able to get things like that. And we don't charge a lot. It's more than your average open play day because we're giving away a marker.
It's not a regular game, right?
Lunch is included. Raffles that we pay a professional photographer at every event. So
and people don't realize like that stuff adds up fast.
Yeah.
Like,
if we didn't do that, we could make money off of it. Yeah. Every dime made goes directly into it. Is how
100%.
So usually the more people that come, the better the event's going to be as far as all those extras.
Yeah, because I actually looked at for the MagFit competition that I'm hosting. I was thinking about a charity or like doing running with the flow of things and doing up a charity and giving some money to a charity. But I don't know if there'll be actually any money to give to a charity. You know what I mean? Like,
and the MagFit events are tough. Like the competition, like there's, you got photographers, you got refs. Like chances are, want impartial quality refs, not like your 14-year-old brother that like played paintball once. Like there's intricate rules to competition, and so little details matter, right? So it's but I don't know. I'm gonna say I know for MML. I don't know if Evan or any of the Millstick guys are watching, but in the beginning, they hooked up M17s in the beginning, and M17s were like $350, $400 Canadian back then. Now they're like 200.
That's true.
They could make some quality prizes again at a reasonable entry point. No one like that was a big one, man. I already owned an M17, but when the first 2 years we entered the MML and didn't win, it was like you wanted those M17s, right? Mm-hmm. So there you go. It's either you either got to put it back into the event, back into the players with like prizes, what you were saying, Sage, or to charity. No one should really be making a bunch of money off of these and walking away. Paintball's not that big. It's too much to be gained by putting it back into events or back into, goodwill with charity.
Yeah. And you know what? And if you're lucky enough, and if you play your cards right, you can get an event that can do both.
Exactly.
The D-Day event at Commando, the one that we're going to be at in the summer, which we'll have a lot more details in the coming weeks as things get finalized. They make money. That's, they have a business to run. They have employees to pay. They have a house to pay for, kind of thing. But they still donated something like $5,000 or $6,000 to charity from that event, right? Like you're like, wow, that's a hell of an event. If you can make money, pay people, and donate, that's awesome. So I'm a big fan of both. Yeah. So I tried to thumbs up there, and I went completely out of camera frame. There, thumbs up, right? What are we at? We're at the 15-minute mark. So
time to carve notches in my pistol then.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, actually, I just saw in the comments here, Callista's in there saying, reminding me that it's actually Dominion this weekend. I didn't join the event because I wasn't going this year, but
we'll go next year.
Dominion, that's a pretty sweet event. California is fucking awesome as it is. And last time I went, I put a couple days on each end and turn it into a little trip. So
that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go back to California and actually see California. We saw a lot of
in and out
cows
on the last one, in and out.
Right?
We were late picking you up and late getting to the airport on the way back with absolutely nothing but in and out burger in between.
Yeah.
Before you guys go crazy planning a California trip, I'm just letting you know they're adding another Dominion. No, not even Michigan. This isn't even my thing. They're adding another Dominion in the Midwest. So
really?
It'll still be far from you guys, but it's going to be. It was going to be at a certain field that it's not working out, but it's at the end of August.
We've flown to California. Anything less than that.
That's awesome, man.
Close,
so. Well, we're actually. I've always wanted to attend one of the Snake Eater games, but we actually are set to go to one of the. I think it's the Snake Eater Proxy Wars, which is kind of one of the spin-offs as well. Yeah, and we've got that coming up in 2 months. That's coming up soon, 2-3 months, I think, right? So we're
April, right? End of May. Sorry, end of May.
Where's that one?
Start of June. That one's in. That's at North Carolina at Command Decisions War Center, where they do Fool the Gap and Platoon.
Fool the Gap.
Yeah.
So we'll
awesome field, one of my favorite all-time fields. So
we're gonna have the dude planning that on the show in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be awesome. Really looking forward to that. Sizzle saying nice patch wall. There's Sage. Taking that patch wall. Yeah. I'm a little jealous. It's got more than I have.
Laid out patch wall. I like that.
Look at the discography photo on the side too, and the tactical harness for the dog.
Yeah, but you look like you're missing a patch.
Yeah, I want one of those actually. I've been hiking with my dog lately, and I want to get a little harness so I can strap his shit to him.
What are you trying to say, bro?
I'm saying you don't have one of mine.
Did you send him one?
It's there.
Oh shit! Look at there it is.
Took the word right out of your mouth.
I've had that for a year, almost probably.
Oh, nice. See, I don't. There's. I don't know where they all went. So they're all off. I hope I sent them all to good homes. It's
I see that UEC patch up there. I'm always proud of that one. I like that UEC patch as well.
First strike only. Is there any special rules? What are the roles going to be on this kind of game? What's the deal?
Haven't announced anything as far as how the games are going to go. Last year, what we did, it was kind of a St. Patrick themed game, St. Patrick's Day themed game. We had a leprechaun on the field that could wreak havoc.
That's awesome.
There were a few different games that led up. If you won this game, you got some gold. So it was you'd collect gold, and whichever team won, you'd get a certain amount of gold, and you would buy these codes to. There were 6 different codes you could buy, and one of them, or depending, however the leprechaun did it, they all could have been right. At least one of them had to be the correct code. I think he drew penises on one.
That's what I do.
Did random stuff, but at least one had to be the correct code. And there's actually, my teammate has this bomb that he built. It's a warhead that he built, a crate and everything that goes in. It has a key code on it, and it has switches that would simulate cutting wires, and a really loud siren.
That's badass.
So this thing, it's like the ultimate paintball prop.
Hold up.
So we used that in the final battle, and you had to fight for the bomb, and whoever got it had to get it to a safe location and arm it, and they had to use the right code to do that. So you might not even have the right code. So then it was just it was a mess, and the Leprechaun had power to just take a player out of the game, put a player back into the game. Like it was ridiculous. It actually pissed some people off, but I thought it was great. I actually saw one of my teammates get really the most mellow teammate I have get really fired up.
It happens.
Did a mag dump on the Leprechaun because he was pissed, and it was great. It really was. So I'm telling you what happened last year because I'm not really giving that information yet of how this game will go, but it'll be good. It'll be good. It's not just a day of paintball. There's going to be a whole scenario planned, and
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's going to be. I'm going to release this information to the general public, or if I'm just going to tell the generals so that they can make their own plans. I haven't really decided that yet.
I mean, you got two options, right? You give them to the generals. The generals should pass it down to their teams, and hopefully everybody gets the info. However, I have seen issues where you give the information to the generals, and the generals don't tell anybody, and then
also I've seen issues where with 19 people, I write it out, full description, and I tell everyone, they still don't know.
Absolutely.
It's true. Oh, yeah.
It's true. People don't read shit.
Jason's run our Star Wars games.
So
and, we
so
know
I'd almost just rather leave it to the generals to have
it's
that.
It's just like herding cats running an event.
It really is.
Read, can't follow directions. They're just going to do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So the goal is to make the scenario pretty simple, too, at the same time. You know, having paintball in mind, not real war, of course.
That's
the big thing about objectives. They have to be actually achievable, or otherwise everyone just gives up and joins those 5 or 10 guys who just came there to shoot people and not play the objectives any.
Yeah. Got to make it fun.
And
got to make it enjoyable.
I've had a million ideas, and we'll probably finally actually decide what I'm going to use like a week before the event, because it's too many. If I planned it all out right now, I would change it 10 times.
You got to leave yourself no time to just get it done once or twice. Okay,
this is that, and if I overthink this, I'm going to mess it up. This is it. That's pretty good. A couple touch-ups, it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I posted up in the comments. I said throw up your questions. Nothing off limits. Sort of.
Nothing off limits.
Yeah, I said sort of. So immediately Sizzle asked, why would people bother playing on the red team and not blue?
For Dominion?
No. I don't know. He just
our game.
Sizzle.
We actually, you can't choose what side you're on at this point because everyone was choosing blue. That's why you would choose red. You have no one to shoot.
That's
I have a feeling though that at any moment now we're going to have an influx of people who would be on red team that are coming from out of town, because it's like mostly all the local people want to play on the blue team, and our General Caesar from Chicago will be hopefully bringing a nice crew. So, but as of right now, the way it's set up, our blue team is pretty much established. So everyone coming on is probably going to be going to red.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Locals versus outsiders for games. Like that's kind of the Dominion formula as well. It's always fun. Because you're right, it's hard. Like I've been in games where, everyone does just pick one team, and then they're like, to try to even it out, they're like, okay, well, all walk-ons go on the other team. And you end up having one team that's all like the experienced people that have been registered and planning for weeks. And then the walk-ons are the guys who are like running their, first time playing, and teams get decimated. I like the idea of either not being able to pick or like really capping, like saying, the first 50 and 50, and then unlock another 50 and 50. And then and saying if there's 100 on this side and 51 on this side, you got to fill up that other side before you can keep registration going.
Mm-hmm. I've told my own team, Shadow Syndicate, I've told them, you guys might get split up depending on how it goes, just because it's our home field. And we've had games where we've stayed, just the little MFOGs we run, where my team stays together, and it doesn't matter if we're outnumbered. We've been playing together.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
different.
You've got that natural.
It's not fun. We need to, So I don't want to see that. Not that I'm saying, these 12 guys would be able to do that this game, but I want to make sure that it's,
You gotta make sure it's
fun,
enjoyable.
It's fun to break up your regular guys, though. Like me and Nightmare always play on the same side and stuff like that. Like a couple games we've had where we're against each other. Usually,
sometimes you want to shoot him.
Yeah, well, yeah. Most of the time, he ends up shooting me, sadly. Like, or at least the videos that make it online. But but no, it's yeah. I like playing against you're breaking up teams is kind of fun sometimes. You get used to playing with the same players and you do the same lines and the same runs on the same field. Mixing it up, that other player knows where you want to go, what you're going to do. A little more fun to break it up. No one wants to win all the time. I mean, it's kind of fun.
And there is nothing better in this world than shit talking your buddy across the bunkers.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's one thing I love about the MML too. I remember when we were playing a game against the Bloody Eagles and Marcy, who's a really awesome player on one of the other team on Bloody Eagles, obviously, and she was the last one left, and they were counting down. There's only a minute left. And there's 3 of us moving in, and she's like, "Don't you guys do me like that?" Like starts yelling like back and shit talking back and forth. It was great. One of like the highlights of the season. I always remember.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay, so we're at almost at the halfway point, and I've been really excited waiting to open these packages because I promised I wouldn't open them until I was on the air.
Don't overdose on that giant package of cocaine or heroin.
Right?
Maybe I'm watching too much Narcos, but the people who package that are like preparing to smuggle that in inside the trunk of a Honda or something like that.
I'm not going to be surprised if I crack this thing open and there's a note inside saying customs opened it. Because it legit looks like a giant brick of cocaine that would have been thrown out of a plane.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. So we're going to start off with the small one though, because this I know I have a rough idea what's in this package.
I didn't know there was 2. Sweet.
There's a little envelope and the big package.
Yeah, so there's the wee envelope.
Oh, right.
From Sebastian Perron. Who is when I lived up north, he was a fellow paintballer from we played at JBC in Listagush. Solid dude, awesome dude. Haven't seen him in a year, and almost 2 years, and we still text on a regular basis. And he said, "I sent you something," and awesome. So it's perfect. It's a Tactical Beard Owners Club.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Right?
Sent you a patch. That's pretty
That's
sweet.
badass.
Patch wall.
Yeah.
Start rivaling Sage's patch wall there.
Hold on. I got to rearrange.
There's more than that. I got a whole other panel that's half full.
There. Whatever.
Fortunately, I just have a patch drawer, and I can never seem to find the patch that I'm looking for at any time that I'm looking for it. So the wall is probably the way to go, although I don't really have anywhere wife appropriate to hang it.
So
yeah, this is my dining room. I just put it up for this podcast.
That's what I need.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even notice in the comments there that Reaper showed up, and I think he vanished again. But solid dude. If you don't know who he is,
someone staying on top of these comments. I always try to pull it up on my phone, and then it goes to sleep. And then if I ever try to type, I'm like this on the show for 5 minutes.
I have 2 monitors to try and handle this, and I need a 3rd monitor.
Reaper sent me. Oh, go on, Guardian.
Oh wait, I forgot. There's also, while it's quiet, we had to do a shout out. SAS Ottawa, I think, is hosting an event.
Oh, I got that. Don't worry about it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
okay, it just hit me. I saw them post. I didn't want to leave them hanging.
So
he's got it covered.
That patch is awesome. So huge thank you to Sebastian for sending that out this way. That's awesome. The dude's got a pretty sweet beard himself. He's fantastic. Also, what do you think of the knife? This is a sweet knife. Sorry.
Jeez.
Okay, I don't exactly know how to get into this, so we're gonna try. So I know what's in this because I ordered it.
I do as well, I think.
I don't.
But what I'm scared of is I don't know
You're gonna puncture it.
its quality. Oh my God, Jesus! How did they package this?
Well, they don't want the cocaine falling out.
Right? Man, I'm telling you, those
There'll be a couple little straw holes in it if the movies have taught me anything.
12-year-olds working for the narcos are just tiny hands. They can tape shit up really well. Do they still call them that? Do they still call them narcos? I don't know.
I don't know. The TV show's still on.
That is the epitome of like middle class North American. Like I get all my drug information from Netflix.
It's better than firsthand if you're talking.
I get mine on my block.
Yeah. Yeah, living in the hood in Michigan, yeah.
Yes, okay. I'm finally
college
through.
Kid. They probably do more drugs than the hood.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just different ones.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Story time. Speaking of drugs, my brother used to hang out with investment bankers. And I just realized I was hitting my keyboard. Hopefully I didn't do anything weird. Oh my God. This is look at this. I'm only this far in.
Oh wow.
It's a lot of stuff.
Okay,
bro.
I think you need something better than the cheese knife.
No, it's
Whatever
not
it
a
is,
cheese
we
knife.
need some of that for the FSR game, I think.
It's a. I need FSRs. I need to lacerate the plastic. No, it's just really, really tightly packed. Holy shit. But yeah, I used to hang out with investment bankers, and those guys do a ton of coke. Like, working 75, 80 hours a week.
Didn't you see Wolf of Wall Street, man?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a lot like that, actually. He's like, you'd be surprised how accurate that movie was. I'm like, that's terrifying.
Those are the guys handling your money.
Whatever, as long as he makes more money, I'm happy.
All right, let's get one of those open now.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm still going.
It's been a little much. You could have started this process early.
I didn't think it would take this long.
Everyone's excited to see.
I'm excited to see. Ladies and gentlemen, so much plastic. Ooh, they're soft. They're really soft, actually. They're 100% cotton made in Bangladesh.
Oh.
They smell like
Could be both
They've
good
been-
and bad.
they
Fancy.
smell like they've been stuck in plastic for like 14 days. Boom!
Bam!
Oh, new T-shirts.
Very
Yeah,
sexy.
buddy.
Good.
Look at that. Like the camera angle's garbage. There we go. Look at that. Look at
So
that.
every
I'll
guest
be
on your
personally
show gets
skeeved
one,
by
right?
that. What's that?
I said every guest on your show gets one, right?
I've been
Hey.
advocating for a guest patch. That every guest on the show gets a patch.
That's definitely an
Yeah,
option.
but you guys don't even have any patches.
No,
I
not
have-
anymore. Not right now. But we do have T-shirts, so maybe a guest T-shirt.
I think I have like 4 patches here actually.
I'm on board, Sage.
So, what size is this?
You're always looking out for me.
Medium.
I am. Brad, I think you might have to personally iron every one of those shirts before they get sent out.
I'm gonna
Iron
wash
the
them.
tray.
Actually, I'm gonna wash
Try
them.
it
Actually,
on.
try.
Try it
Oh
try.
yeah.
Put
No,
it
that's
right
a-
on over the hoodie.
That's a medium though. That won't fit.
I found
Yeah,
4.
put the medium on.
You found 4 patches? Holy shit.
Why does he have more patches than I do?
I don't know.
Because you give them away, man.
I really do.
I hoard them.
He knows their value. Jason's
Yeah.
smarter than the rest of us.
I'm putting them up on Kijiji.
He knows he knows in 10
You
years.
won't get your gas money back.
$8.
All right, there it is. Look at that sexy beast. Woo-wee. Ooh. Where's the flashing lights and music?
For the record, I'm probably a large, if not extra large, and this is a medium.
2X.
Okay, so they're incredibly soft. Yes. Oh, look at that.
Ooh,
Look at
Looks
that.
nice. Yeah.
There we go. Get the mic out of the way.
Yeah.
Just polish it up there for us.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hold on, I'm just gonna flex all the wrinkles out of it. Hold on, I gotta take my headset off so I can actually. I've missed so many comments.
right.
Most of them are from me, bro.
Perfect, awesome. Then I don't need to pay.
I was gonna say that's impressive because you must be like whenever I have to type on this, I'm like looking down and you're just like seamlessly like
Make
I
those-
bet if you're
never
watching
eye contact yet, messaging
yeah.
like crazy. Yeah, someone was like in
Oh,
high
it's because of
school.
it does this. So I'm like, still looking.
Yeah. The old classic. I mean, I never cheated on tests, but you remember oh man, this question's really hard, and then like peering over at your neighbor's.
Cheat up the sleeve.
Yeah, there you go. The best one I saw was Buddy just pressed a textbook on his lap and then would press his legs against the bottom of his desk when the person went by, and then would drop them down and then flip the pages and then.
Okay, so there's 4 of those T-shirts, and I don't know what I did with the banners. They're in the other room.
Watching.
We got to see the banners.
Okay, give me 2 seconds, guys. Hold down the fort for me.
Blake will talk about something while we.
Yeah, leave it to me to just run my mouth for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just saw Alfred Baird joint back in, or Bird Baird. Sorry, butchering it. He is running the 2v2 competition, and if all goes well, I think I will be joining this time around. And my fire team partner should be Dreadcam. So he's going to break out. That's dangerous. He's going to break out a Didam, and 2 of us should be planning to hit the field. It's not 100% yet. I got to work out my flights and stuff, but
we can do anything good
there. So whoever won last time, we're coming for you.
Baby
documented on camera, and we'll see if we can maybe get some good videos out of it, get some good action at the game. I'm really intrigued to give the 2v2 a try, and when I knew Direct Cam's only an hour or 2 away, I was like, "Fuck, buddy, you gotta join up." So far we're in.
Okay,
so what if he gets like a 42 kill streak at a 2v2? That means you guys swept everybody.
I'm just gonna sit back. I'm just gonna be like, "Yeah, Dread, it's cool, man." Just shooting into the wall. Oh, tons of fire over here. Tons of fire. Let him just sprint to the end and get the points for us.
So
you're chilling.
Yeah, exactly. My style.
So because I like Sage so much, 4 of those T-shirts are making their way to the FSR game.
Oh.
As well as 2 of these bad boys.
Oh, sweet. Those turned out really nice.
Right?
Yeah, that's sweet. Did that come in the same package?
No, I've had these for ages.
Oh, shit.
I like the colors on there.
There you go.
So do I.
Pretty cool looking banner. So we will definitely rock one of those at all our events on our little staging.
That's awesome.
Setup. And we'll give one away at the game.
Well, yeah, send some T-shirts out to you guys, and you can hoard a couple for yourselves, and then toss a couple.
Yeah, we'll give those away.
Okay, there you go.
I'll buy one.
Look at that. The support, the love.
So those T-shirts, they're a combination. Those T-shirts that we have there, I've got plenty of them. There's now a pile of T-shirts all over my floor. Those are, if you're lucky enough to go to an event that these things make their way to, then awesome, you get a chance to win one. Otherwise, if you want, you can contact the podcast and we can sell you one. So that's.
Do they come in baby sizes?
No.
We'll just put one in the dryer on really hot till it shrinks down.
Right. I'll grab the smallest one.
Send me your logo so I can make one.
There you go.
All right.
We've been doing that. Actually, one of the things that when Reaper was brought up, I was going to say he sent a Shoot You Soon t-shirt for the little fella.
Oh, that's cute.
A couple other players did stuff like that. Jug the Sniper, who's a Michigan SAR player.
Oh, he's from Michigan? Shit, I remember him being at Dominion as well. I didn't know he was a Michigan as well. That's cool. He does some quality videos. It's I haven't seen them all, but definitely what I have seen are pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So, sorry, we've got 20 minutes-ish left, and we've got a ton of events that I want to touch on.
Sweet.
I want to go to all of them.
Right? So do I.
That's the problem. Too many events, too little time.
It's true. So this one is rather short notice, but it's happening anyway, so we're going to talk about it. But it's Operation Melting Fortress. This is being hosted at PRZ Paintball. It's March 24th.
I saw that.
$20 entry, $30 bring your own paint, $80 a case. Limited paint, tactical games. It's based around Rainbow Six Siege. Fantastic game, by the way. If you have it on PC, hit me up.
Can you imagine that at PRZ? Sorry, like those Siege style games, like
that's what I want. That is what I want.
Play on like a huge area, or just play like have 5 or 6 different smaller zones you could play in. Like genuine the military basically plays siege there and blows holes in the walls whenever they want to do training anyhow. So I imagine if they would do it there, it's probably pretty good for us.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm going to bring this back up. So if you go to Facebook and Google, go to Facebook and Google, go to Facebook and search just Operation Melting Fortress, you'll find some information. PRZ Paintball is the location, and that's all you really need to know. Go to PRZ.
I need to play there.
It's an amazing field. It's a great field.
Definitely
need to come up, buddy.
And PRZ's in Picton, Ontario. So, fantastic field. The best part about it is it changes every week. You go there 1 week, it's awesome. And then you go the next week, and walls are missing. It's great.
Oh.
Rumors. Remember last year they were rumored that Honey Badger was going to be the last game played there because the military had blown too many holes in the walls and engineers were concerned the building was going to fall down or didn't meet structural integrity anymore. Because they go in there and they practice breaching and genuinely use explosives to blow holes in the walls. And so now when you go through, you're like, oh, this you couldn't go through here last time. Now there's like a fucking hole. Or I remember last year they blew some holes out by the helicopter. And it made playing the game really hard. So they literally had to go back and rebuild the walls because it was affecting gameplay, that this now like pretty strategic area was wide in the open to people inside the building now.
It was awesome.
One of those weird things not many fields have to deal with.
Yeah.
A little closer to home on the same day is the Siege of Warsaw, which is happening at Atlantica Paintball. That's basically spitting distance from us. It's Hillsborough, New Brunswick.
So we'll be hitting that one up. I tried to go last month to the winter game. I think we all did because they've been doing a once a month winter game there.
Yes, this is the first one in January. Third.
Yeah, and so we missed the February one due to shitty weather, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. And that'll be the first time I will have played in actually 2 months since the last one. So
so I'm really looking forward to it.
So here's your thought. I'm going to mix it up here and ask a question to you guys. What do you think? And do you think fields would be okay with this? So it's winter ball. They're using, New World. I think last time, I think a lot of the MegFed players struggled a little bit with it. So I know that there's a paint that works really well for our MegFed markers. Would you as a field owner or running an event, if someone was like, hey man, look, I've tried using that paint you guys have, it didn't work very well. I've got my own bag here. I'll pay you guys a little bit. This works for me and my equipment. Would people really have an issue with that if they were willing to maybe even compensate?
If I'm the field owner.
Sounds great.
Right? Like it's kind of going out of their way. The field owner's now getting paid a little bit for not even providing the bag.
Well, that's just it. If I'm the field owner.
Players having a better time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm the field owner. You come to me and you say you want to use outside paint. Let me inspect it. Let me say that I saw it, right?
Like Marbleizer or something.
Or it's like it's hard as a rock or something.
Right.
It breaks the same color.
Yeah, or that they know about that maybe,
or at least I can make everybody aware, and then pay me what I would have made by selling you a case of paint.
Yeah.
Right. So typically, it's been ages since I've looked at it, but typically paint is sold at usually 100% profit. So.
It's like $10. Like most fields in Canada, I think pay $40, like $30 to $40 a case, and sell it $75 to $80 a case.
Exactly. So pay me $30 and go nuts.
Yeah.
Right. But so at the same time, though, I'm also kind of stingy. So if I said pay me $30 and you walked in with 10 cases of paint, I want $300. You know what I mean?
I literally want a bag. Like I want a bag of fucking Draxis winter paint. That's what I want because that shit is the best. In the world.
You bring in a bag, pay me $10. That's.
See, and you know what? I had an event organizer actually out in Ontario, R&D developments. The very first time I went to one of their MegFed only games, I flew all the way out there just for the event. Actually, flew in morning in and flew out night of, and they were FSR were allowed, but only field bought FSR. And because I showed up last minute, I missed all the FSR. And I kind of went up to the event organizer, was like, hey, dude, like I flew out here. I've got a box of FSR with me. I'll pay you whatever it would have cost, or whatever you would have made on the FSR box. Let me run them. And dude was like, you know what? Let me inspect them. Have you modified them in any way so I don't sand the nipples off or any of that bullshit? So he took a look at them, was fine. And I literally pulled out like $40 to let him, and he told me to put it back in my pocket. So I have a huge soft spot in my heart for R&D. They've run another game since then, one or two other MegFed games I haven't been able to make it to, but because that's something I mean, I really appreciated that from those event organizers. But then like this 2 weeks coming up, like I'm genuinely considering ordering or asking one of the fields that I know carries it to sell me a bag of this winter paint. And I'm going to try my luck at the winter game, because I did struggle with the world in the cold temperature. Like it crumbled. Like I definitely, it made for a day that was not playable almost.
Absolutely.
I will, I'll make a phone call tomorrow to my local shop, and I'll see if he can get it in, because he's GI supplier, so he can get pretty much, or GI and Badlands. He gets everything from them, so he can get pretty much anything. And
that's who stocks Draxus, I think, is a part of that umbrella.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can do that, and then I'll message the field owner at Hillsborough. I'll message Aaron and just be like, dude, would this work for you, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing we're fortunate with here in Michigan. So far, we've kept our games going monthly, even in the winter, and have been outside. And every field we've used, we have a couple private fields we use, so we're allowed to bring your own paint events. Nice. But even field paint only fields are providing winter paint too. So like we've been like everything has been really smooth for us with the paint.
It sounds like Michigan's becoming the promised land for paintballers.
It's not that big of a scene here, and it just that like there's not many fields like the one field, like what it is, the field that's just out for profit,
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got one of those. We got one here too. Yeah.
The rest of them are just it's crazy to me how cool it is and how we're able to do what we want to do.
It's very cool to see.
They don't make as much money off of us playing, because we don't buy in that much paint, you know. And like it's just crazy how supportive they are of us, and so it's a really good thing. I feel fortunate to be here while I'm all into this. When I started, Jaybird and I started playing, we went out to California to go to an MFOG because I didn't know where any were. I really was new to the game. I wasn't all over all the Facebook stuff I am now.
Yeah,
I'm into it. I'm trying to get out of it.
It's hard, man. You get in too many groups, and then you're like, "Fuck,
I did.
Trim this down."
I've left all the any page you've heard of. I've left.
I'm in two paintball pages basically now. Like I'm in the owners group for the markers that I usually buy, and the main MagFed paintball page, and that's. I mean, I might be in some of the other ones still, but I never, visit them or whatever. That's enough.
I'm pretty much in the local ones. I've kind of like
and local.
I have friends elsewhere, but I've kind of just like I don't need to be in a group with them. It's like I've seen enough crap and I'm just done with it. So now I'm focusing on that outreach to my local scene.
Nice.
When it comes to Facebook and stuff like that.
Sorry. So next, there's two more events we're going to talk about because this next one, I've agreed to promote their event because they've agreed to promote my event. So it's amazing how the system works.
Help each other out, right?
So Seabreeze Outlaws Pump and Pistol Paintball event. It's not till July, but we want to get the word out.
Awesome.
Right. It's one of the best events of our local calendar. It's one of the best events. It was, a little change in management. I think this year it's actually going to be run by Seabreeze themselves, but the spirit's still there, and it's going to be the changes that they've got coming on over the summer too, and that they started last year will be pretty solid. I think it's going to be a very good year out our area for local events. And starting, this season, we're already March and we're listing off like 3 events going on. It's
right. Wild. So this Seabreeze Pump event, right? So it's July 8th. There's a quick draw competition. There's a sharpshooter competition. There's a Western themed contest or costume contest. They got a handful of pump rentals, $20 bag or $80 case. So pretty standard pricing, but I'm excited because I haven't made it to one of these yet. And
that's killer for Canadian prices.
It is.
It's our standard out here, man. We our field owners out here. There's no field fees for regular like walk-on days. Like
you air fee.
You'll play all day for your $20 Canadian.
Really?
Fucking and go like the most.
It's expensive in Ontario.
It is, man. It is.
Ontario,
Some of the indoor fields, like indoor has their own overhead, so I understand they got to charge more. But like, I played an indoor event where a bag was $40 or maybe even $50 or $55. Like, I'm trying to remember now. It's hard. I mean, not to shame a field, but because it's an awesome field and it's worth it. But out in Ontario, there are a couple of the indoor fields. Like, I was blown away. But
I mean, you got to look at it too. Here in the Maritimes, like land is cheap.
Absolutely.
Right? Property tax, nothing. I know there's some fields. I know because somebody had posted it up on Facebook the other day. I cannot remember who did it. I just remember Wolf's comment on it. Basically, they were upset that a field was charging $200 and some odd for a case of paint.
Holy hell!
This field is located in the Entertainment Airport District of Montreal.
Okay, yeah, like in a major city,
it is
busy
area. It is essentially
it is not cheap to operate there,
right?
And frankly, they're not catering to the regulars there as often as they are catering to the people coming in buying paintballs by the 100. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
They're
not after the regular player, right? They want the one time a year birthday party
events, bachelor parties, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And clearly, they're making money off of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't still be around, right?
And there's plenty of other fields around. I know there's, so like if that's their niche, that's their niche. Let them do their thing. But
and that was it can be
expensive. We're lucky with Seabreeze and our local fields here take care of us very well.
Yeah, and I mean this person was pretty upset with the pricing, and I mean, it just take a step back and remember that paintball, as much as we love to be, all the camaraderie and we love the charity. Paintball for a lot of places is a business, and it's a source of income, right? It's a source of food. So I mean, if you got to charge $250 for a case of paint because you have to pay the city of Montreal probably $1 million a year in property tax, then you charge $250 for a case of paint. I'm not even going to scoff at it. So that's just how the world works.
We don't have to play there.
Exactly. I'd probably go just to try out the field once.
We don't have to play.
And then I'd just be like, cool, all right, that's off the bucket list, on to, the middle of the woods.
It's about the experience, right? It's not something we do every week. But
it's like playing a really expensive round of golf once because
exactly
the course, right? Like, you know what I mean?
That's actually a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, because it's dear to my heart, the Canadian MagFed competition.
Fuck yeah.
August 25th, 26th. So if you go to our Facebook page, you go to Maritime Milsim Podcast, or if you go to maritimemilsim.com, you will find all sorts of information on this event. I'm not going to list off it all because it's going to pop up every week, and I don't want people to get bored of it. But what I can tell you is, unfortunately, nothing is set in stone for the refs, but preliminaries, it looks like I have an entire speedball team ready to ref. And I will actually be personally taking an entire day with them to teach them the rules.
Good, because we've had issues where we had professional refs who kind of applied speedball rules to ours and had some complications. So not only having quality refs, it's getting them to know the rules properly, because I mean, they're not ridiculous, but they're somewhat intricate. You got to know what's going on, right?
They're calling you out on a marker hit.
Exactly.
And this is what we're signing up for, so that's the experience we're looking for. So we want it followed, right?
No, I'm excited, man. It's I mean, you've heard us talk about competition paintball to death on this show, but we love it, and I'm still hoping that we're running the CMC in addition to the MML.
I would love that. I would love for both events to take place. We got to actually
bring English Dave back on here, and
if I can get hold of him.
Yeah, it's true. He's a bit of a ghost in the shell these days. Yeah.
We have that. I'm in the process of trying to get hold of somebody who can explain to me what permit and license I need to run a wet dry event. So the idea is that I want essentially a beer tent. Yeah. So when the game is done, this isn't going to be during the match. This is going to be at the end of the day. There will be a designated spot where you can consume alcohol if you're of age, and it'll all be confined in that one area. So if you're not 19, like if you're coming from Quebec, your drinking age in Quebec is 18, right? Coming to Brunswick, you can't drink. But you can still come to the event. You just can't go into this one particular part that we're going to section off. So a wet dry event means all ages.
Nice. That's sweet. I like it. And you know what you could do? I mean, if it's feasible or practical, you could always let spectators have drinks during the day too.
And I've thought of that too. I thought about,
because we had interest from somebody posted up one of the comments on the
they want to watch
that someone was like, this would be interesting to watch. And I when I looked into who it was actually a buddy who looks like he runs and successfully quite well on a speedball team in Ontario. So you know, I think we always said, you know what, pick up some markers and play if you'd like. I think a pro speedball team could give even the best of us a run for our money with just a little bit of practice.
Absolutely.
If they ever want to come in and kind of show us they can do what we can do, but better.
It's all paintball.
That's why I say, like, I don't hold it against. We've got a crew, like, when we go to our home field Seabreeze Paintball, it's literally like 33% speedball, 33% pump, and 33% mag fed, and that's like our games. Like, that's how it goes. And the speedball players are limited to 8 balls a second semi, so it's not ridiculous. And so, I mean, I've got no hatred for either. Seabreeze is actually opening up probably the first outdoor speedball field in the entire Maritimes. Will be opening up this year as well. I think Derek's pegged that one for hopefully a June opening. Hope I didn't spill the beans, but opening for that one.
Nobody watches the show anyways.
So, I mean, we're looking to have both of that on our home field, and I'm looking forward to playing on the speedball field with either mag fed with pistols. I'm probably picking up a speedball marker just to run it as well. Like, I'm jealous of the competition.
This is my speedball marker.
Well, there's guys like I know.
That's what I use on the airball field.
Dude, John Adams and a couple of the other guys I know, Airborne PB out of Ontario as well. As far as I know, they'll compete in tournaments or at least practice against guys in speedball running just pistols again in speedball tournaments. And, you know, as far as I know, hold their own and do pretty damn well, knowing, you know, what I know of these guys. So I'd love to see some of them come out. Speedball, anybody who wants to be in this. We kind of set it in New Brunswick instead of Nova Scotia, have it a little more central. You know, it's only a couple hours, but, you know, a few hours closer to Quebec, Ontario, and, you know, a little closer to PI as well. So we're trying to draw in as many people as we can, you know, show people like competition's a part of every game, you know, skateboarders, snowboarders, everybody hosts competitions, right? It's just part of, you know, advancing the sport, finding out what's possible and, you know, who's the best.
Yep. And I'm terrified and excited all at the same time. And seriously looking forward to what's going to happen. I know the Mag Hill Paintball, the field that we're going to be playing on, amazing field and huge support. He's 100% backing us.
I haven't played the field yet. I'm looking forward to getting out there because it's a very cool fucking looking field. Like, we're talking buses, trains. Like, it's almost, it has that Nuketown style.
It's the maritime Nuketown.
Yeah, it's got that close quarters buses, outdoors, like defined roads, cars. Like it feels like Nuketown just in a different layout. So I definitely want to give it a shot. And I think the format will be pretty sweet for 5-man competition.
Yeah, it's going to work really well. I'm excited. And we're also looking at trying to get a live band and that'd
be sweet. It's overnight, right? So then you turn it into like a little bit of a party.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the plan.
We'll find out which team's winning after day one and get them drunk and hungover for
exactly. Just start buying the other team beer. Yeah. Like, oh, you guys are awesome.
I don't know if Brian, I thought he was actually going to mention it in the videos he put out from MML this year, but for event 2 this year, I think anybody who went out know I was hungover as fuck. Like at lunchtime, I sat in my car for an hour and just sat in my car trying not to die. And I actually ended up playing, like when I went through my footage myself, it was actually one of my better days. And so now maybe that's the trick. Just go hard the night before. And
it's like shooting pool. You got to get that right balance of alcohol to bring out the skill, right? It's like shooting pool at the bar. So that's the CMC. We'll do a whole episode. I think what we'll do is we'll get Jeff.
Wait till we get closer too.
Yeah, we'll get Josh, the field owner, from Mag Hill, to come on, and we'll do a whole episode on the CMC. We need a patch. We're gonna do patch design. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So, anyways, it's gonna be a great time. I'm super stoked. Now, last but certainly not least is we need to give a shout out to those supporters who are supporting the show. Sorry, I didn't think that sentence through.
One of them is here.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, them, but they're the ones that actually go last because you want them to be the one in your memory. So, first one, we got Tier 1 Armament. They're the Canadian MegFed paintball and airsoft distributor. They're not the distributor, but they're one of them. I shouldn't say the. But Tier 1 Armament, they're the guys that get the stuff to the dealer. They're the narcos.
They're the whole thing. Sorry, I have to interrupt for probably the best comment I think I've seen. It's Jesse Lopez saying, "Oh man, I didn't know Guardian could laugh."
Neither did I.
Did he laugh? I missed it.
He did.
So
yeah, that one made me laugh reading that one.
That is awesome. Tier1armament.com. Check them out. They are the distributors, but they do sell a little bit.
Yeah, they got a good deal on the 468 right now.
Yeah, so if you buy a PTR from Tier1armament.com, if you buy a PTR, you get a free Immortal Air tank.
Sweet too.
Right? Yeah. So you're getting one of what is considered by some the best current MagFed marker. And then you're also getting what is considered like one of the best made air tanks. Notice how I did that very politically. Considered by some. See?
Yeah.
Smart. I'm learning. So on to the next one, Ripple Industries. So this is the dealer. So Tier 1 gets the stuff into the country. Ripples gets it into your hands. So if you go to rippleind.ca, this guy, Tom, is amazing. He sells everything from paintball equipment to like clothing, soft goods. I think he carries like 90% of the Condor line.
Oh, like everything Condor. Like
everything Condor.
Although I was going to give him a hard time because he doesn't have anything Multicam Tropic in, and then he just finally got a vest in Multicam Tropic after I just bought another one from him. So in Multicam Black, so now I'm spending more money.
So to get you, man.
Yeah. So rippleind.ca. Go check out his website. If you're in Canada, go check him out. If you're outside of Canada, there's not much point. He doesn't really ship outside of Canada. But any order over $99 gets free shipping. So that's pretty bitchin'. Who orders online without ordering $99 worth of stuff? Let's be honest. And
that's how they get you, and they do a good job. I can't remember the last time I paid for shipping because I'm always like, well, I have to spend $99. Like,
yeah,
right.
They're getting like $20 worth of free stuff because shipping's outrageous.
It's true. It's true. It's absolutely insane. Now for the real MVPs, the Patreon supporters. So Mary B, Sizzle, Sage down there in the bottom right-hand corner, Alex, Tony, Justin, Ryan, and Dave. My bad, Dave. I totally forgot to put your name on there last week, but you got that special shout-out.
That's what I was going to say. He got his own meme. That's better.
Right? So the Patreon supporters, they are the creme de la creme. These are the best people ever. Sage is sitting there just basking in the glory. So the Patreon supporters, more respect than I can vocalize.
Absolutely.
Because Patreon supporters are actually financially supporting the podcast. If you want, actually, I'll put that back up just because I like showing off the names. If you want to support the podcast, it's patreon.com/Maritime Milsim Podcast. It could be as little as $1, and we're ecstatic. And what it does is it helps pay for the software. It helps pay for the hosting costs. It helps pay for these T-shirts. It helps pay for shipping costs. It helps, we're not pocketing this stuff. Beard oil, thanks.
Mostly.
None of that goes my way, fellas. No,
yeah, we don't pocket any.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 32. It's still patchy.
So is mine, dude. Once you let it go, you're fine. Once you get past all the patches, it just covers them up.
Just blends in together.
Oh yeah, man. You'll be surprised.
All together.
Just do it.
Okay. This November.
So that's it. So I think we're gonna end it there. So Sage, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good times.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'd like to comment. I'd like to give Sage a massive shout out for having probably the clearest audio and video combination of any of our guests. Right?
He's even set up the little studio in the back with the patches.
Right. It's pretty legit.
None of this stuff belongs here. Jaybird, me and Jaybird running up that hill was in my living room. I moved it over here.
There you go. I like
That's
it.
awesome.
Set the stage. I like it.
Is it more prep than Jason and I put into each week?
So much more. This is just a wall. That's it.
I have a lot of fun. What can I say? I have a lot of fun.
If you get a chance to check out the FSR only game, Meg 12 FSR only. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to make it there, so I want to see pictures. Take pictures, send us pictures, and we'll show it off. And,
Dizotography will be there taking photos, like beautiful. He is at all of our events. So you will have the ability to see those.
That's awesome.
A lot of love for Dizzo in the comments too.
For everyone who's been watching this stream, who's been commenting, thank you. You guys make it awesome because there's 173 comments right now on this video, which means there's some awesome conversation happening. You guys are funny as hell. Andrew Home from
About 100 were from me.
Yeah, most of them were for Sage, so that's awesome though. That's
we're from me. We're me physically typing them.
Oh, whatever.
Just
and
we'll pad our stats any way we can get them. We'll take those empty net goals.
Who cares? Andrew Holm joking along in there, right? Good times, having a blast. And for anyone watching on YouTube, thanks for the views over on YouTube. If you're listening to this on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever the hell else we're on, we're pretty much everywhere on the internet. Thanks for the listen. Thanks for the download. Thanks for the stream. Those numbers give me life, sort of. Anyways, I check them every day. Not going to lie. Sometimes twice.
Sorry.
He does. Then he tells us about it.
It's true. So that's it. That's all I got. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. Sage, thanks for being here again, buddy. Tuna, Guardian, as always, thank you for coming on the stream, onto the show.
Love you guys. Thank you.
That's it. So we're out of here. So until next week, everyone. Cheers,
fellas, ladies.